So Black Ops 6's next event, the Squid Game crossover event, was revealed today. I'm partially surprised that it took so long to reveal, but also not because of the holidays, but we're about to really just jump into it. 24 hours before the update goes live, that major crossover they've been teasing for weeks is finally now revealed. Also, the term major is perhaps subjective because while we have a new event, it's not a major seasonal update or anything like a reloaded update or anything like that, but it is more than the events that we've seen so far in Black Ops 6, so somewhere in the middle. But today we're running down everything you should know about the update tomorrow and all that's coming along with it. So drop your thoughts down below as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay updated with all things Black Ops 6 as well as other FPS content. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, let's get into it. So firstly, when does the event actually start? Well, it kicks off tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, January 3rd, and goes until January 24th at the same time. So 3 weeks of play available. Noticeably, that's still a few days before the given battle pass timer concludes, so we're still not sure when that will actually end because the current timer's not on the standard Wednesday or Thursday endpoints we've seen for seasons this year and historically in the past, so we'll have to wait and see, but we might have that awkward few days of nothing going on in Black Ops 6. Also, it is likely this is a title update here because it does bring along some new content, some new stuff that includes also things like a air quote map, which we'll touch on in a second, along with other things as well. Also, there's just been that title update for Black Ops 6 that's been in the PlayStation database for a week or two now at this point, so that's the one that will likely be coming here with it. It might actually require you to actually download the update rather than just a simple playlist update and a hotfix there. But beyond that, content of this event is split into two distinct sort of categories: event rewards and new modes. The biggest of them, and what will probably draw the most attention, is the event rewards, because this is what is stirring the pot currently, coming with a both free and premium tier of the content rewards in the event. Now, the footage you'll see on screen is courtesy of DK Dynamite and the Detonated team, who were at a capture event for the upcoming event. This is not my footage. I was not in New York, not invited with the others there, so check out the accompanying socials in the description, but on screen you'll see a bit of what is coming for both of those segments in the pass. The free content being all of the functional things like the cleaver at the end and a few skins of cosmetics, while progressing through this event is just simply an XP based event. So all you have to do is play and progress. You'll get XP and end up unlocking items as you go along. And the paid pass is akin to more battle pass tiers with more valuable items, if you want to say that, like themed and cosmetic variations of things. You got a cool looking XM4 blueprint, an akimbo SOG build, a pistol, and a knife, along with the frontman operator, which is a new operator at that. Now, the price of this, well, at first, the blog, it actually went live and didn't have any details on the pricing, but this was actually where the community basically cyberbullied the COD socials by saying, okay, but how much is the pass? To where they finally updated it and listed it as 1,100 COD points. So basically, you're buying the base battle pass that you have for the season over again here with this. But the other part that I don't know how many people caught out of some of the footage that was debuted here with this is that you also have the option to pay to progress past tiers like the battle pass at 150 COD points each tier, so you can continuously progress through that and kind of skip ahead, which I'm not a huge fan of. So base pricing, kind of expected that, but also don't care too much to pay for the sort of extra bonuses on top of that. And again, I'll give more of my thoughts on this here in a bit, but in the interest of time, I wanted to firstly just give you the information of what was coming with this update, personal weigh in after the facts of here's what's coming. So that's kind of part one of the event here, the sort of marketed item of that pass for the event. But part two is the playlist. You have a little bit of stuff in multiplayer, zombies, and Warzone. Multiplayer has Red Light, Green Light, Pentathlon, and Squid Game Mosh Pit. Red light, green light is what you'd expect. The gameplay shown was on the air quote new map, which is just the pitch from Red Card, but it is playable to cross in waves of qualifications where you can collect dead players' drops, but ultimately you still have to adhere to those rules of stop and go while making it to the other side. Pentathlon is a series of multiplayer modes between Domination, Kill Confirmed, and Hardpoint, along with two new modes of Piggy Bank TDM and Roulette. Every elim in Piggy Bank TDM adds score to the Mega Bank, and Roulette offers a handgun that rewards double points with the handgun kills, but it can blow up in your hands if you take that risk. Mosh Pit will end up seeing TDM, Domination, and Hardpoint, but operators have those 3 important themed features of the red light, green light score streak, which causes the enemies to have to adhere to red light, green light. Piggy bank, eliminated operators have a chance of dropping a piggy bank that rewards a small score boost bonus. And roulette handgun is like sort of that hand cannon in the center of the map that anybody can pick up, but it has the chance to blow up on you at random. Zombies ends up having dead light, green light on Liberty Falls and Citadel des Morts, where it's red light, green light, but in zombies form here. But the sort of catch is that if you end up getting kills during the green light phase of this, you'll end up getting double essence. But for every second that you move after the red light stop command is initiated, you end up losing essence. So you can gain it big, but also lose it big as well, with no stop or no floor to how much you can lose if you keep moving during the red light phase. And then Warzone ends up having Squid Game in Urzikstan, where it's rotating series of challenges on Urzikstan that will eventually end up eliminating squads that are underperforming. There also might be a form of red light, green light in there, as they say, and they said, you know what to do. The other content for this event to round it out are just bundles. Those are the big focal points as the sort of extracurricular content. But truth be told, I don't really care too much for this. You'll see some footage on screen of, I think there's like 3 of them. But again, don't really care too much to go in depth on this kind of stuff. But like we mentioned, this goes until the 24th, so you'll have a lot of time to play with this, at least more than the recent events lasting around 2 weeks each. This one adding another week onto the playtime you have for this. Now, that said, that's the event and what you can expect to be coming, but now my personal thoughts. Now, part of me, the big thing, of course, being that pass that comes along with the event. A part of me, the part that isn't going to interact with any of this stuff that I don't really care about, I'm not going to buy any of this, and is just the person that's focusing on completing 100% for multiplayer because I'm way too close to give up now, and zombies camos afterwards. 1100 COD points for that. Basically, another bundle is 1-to-1 cheaper than what you'd see by buying that operator and bundle outright. But the other part of me is also very much so what we've talked about since it was announced that we'll have a paid version of the sort of event pass. It's excessive amounts right now of buy this content. Like, when this game and the subsidiary offerings has major flaws, there's no real working anti-cheat at the moment, and you're still pushing all these cosmetics, it's just not a good look. To me, having a base game at $70, a Black Sail Battle Pass advertised every single season for $30, $20 bundles basically introduced every other day, and then a $10 pass for events is just, it's overkill. To me, I think the premium track, if you're dead set on that, because personally, I don't think there's even a need for this from a consumer end to add more monetization into the equation, but if they're dead set on having that premium track, I feel like folding it in as a Black Sail benefit would be, I guess the term would be more acceptable at this point. I mean, we already have Black Sail rewards in other events, so why would this one be any different? And I get the logical answers because they have a big budget crossover. COD and Netflix have contractual obligations and deliverables of revenues for crossovers that need to be worthwhile and something that both parties can take back to their boardrooms. But for us, the players, it could have been done better, or, you know, not at all, I think. But I do still think that when we look at all of this and what might be on the horizon still for Black Ops 6, that theory about what we talked about with Game Pass being the catalyst for this and the culprit may actually be the case, which is the bummer. Which, if you guys missed that, I kind of think now that more sales of Game Pass is great for Xbox and Microsoft and everything, but it's also less guaranteed larger chunks of cash that would be otherwise spent on the actual game itself. Like, if you buy Game Pass, I think for what, like 10 or 11 bucks a month or something like that, that is 10 or 11 bucks that's going to Microsoft and the Game Pass, but a $70 game, you're missing out on 60 extra bucks of that. So multiply that by perhaps hundreds of thousands of subscriptions for Game Pass, well, you're missing out on a large chunk of cash, which means those revenues are probably below expectation for Microsoft and Activision, and thus sends them into a panic of, okay, we need to increase in-game spending from the perspective of the suits at Activision and Microsoft. So I don't agree with that, but I kind of feel like that's what's happening. Overall, the event is kind of cool for the sake of, like, it's a cool crossover. For those interested, it's awesome that you guys may have something you enjoy. I've never watched Squid Game. I know I might be crazy and maybe one of the only ones, but I don't have any investment into it. I don't care for the added cosmetics on offer here. Probably won't be doing much of anything with this. Not going to be buying any of those bundles. Probably don't care for the track itself. But like I said, as crazy as I feel for being the one that's going for 100% multiplayer and then on to zombie stuff, still playing and kind of grinding it out in that sense, I think that's all I really care to do at the moment. The LTMs sound cool, but after watching gameplay, I think I'll probably play them like once or twice, and that's about it. They don't really have the staying power for me, personally speaking, though it is something that if you like this, I'm happy you have something you can play and enjoy. But for another long, like 3.5 weeks or so until season 2, this is just a cool collaboration on paper. I'm not really going to be doing much with it beyond that. So that's the event here that we have at the moment. Don't quite like some of the choices made, but hey, if you do, good for you. But for now, that's going to wrap it up. Let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think of the sort of LTMs? What do you think of the content in terms of the sort of Battle Pass-esque addition here to it? Let me know. But make sure you drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, and make sure to subscribe for more Black Ops 6 and other FPS coverage. I'd love to have it in the community. But for now, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care, and peace.